My Country Y107, and welcome back here on this Thursday morning. And Kim and Marissa join us once again from SALT Counseling Clinic. And, you know, with domestic violence situation, there's oftentimes so many unintended victims and others who are affected by domestic violence situations. And, Kim, I know that one of these scenarios that's very important to you, that you hold a real connection to, is the kids in these family situations, right?
This is correct. A lot of times we think about domestic violence in the situations of adults, and we don't put enough emphasis on how domestic violence in the home affects the children. So what you would look at this as an indirect exposure, or sometimes a direct exposure. Sometimes children are brought into the physical violence or the sexual assault or the emotional manipulation. But children really don't have a voice to be able to speak up. And a lot of times you have families, parents who will say to us, well, they don't act like this bothers them. They're not acting out at home. They're not saying anything. And sometimes that's a red flag because maybe they are internalizing what's going on at home.
And that's never good because the damage may not be seen so much right now, but that kind of damage is things that can go on to affect their life as they become adults and grow into situations. So addressing it early on is very important, and this is maybe a more telling situation than what maybe some people think. And I think you've got some stats to back that up.
Yeah, so any child who experiences domestic violence, and like we said, exposure, not necessarily directly associated, has difficulty learning, lower IQ scores, deficiency in visual motor skills, and problems with attention and memory. Also, if you grow up in domestic violence, you're 74% more likely to commit a violent crime against someone else. So this is a ripple effect, really.
And when you start seeing this, correct me if I'm wrong here, but it's almost like as they get older, this is what they saw. It was accepted and nothing was done about it. So it must be the way that you're supposed to behave as an adult, and that's not the case.
Yes, and I've actually had clients tell me, well, I didn't know any different. This is what I grew up in too. I thought I was supposed to experience this.
And Kim, when we come back to how do we contact you guys to start developing some help, it's important not only for people who are going through these situations, domestic violence situations, but it's important for these kids to get some therapy and get some help. This is one of the ways that one of the things that you ladies also are very concerned about and offer an opportunity for parents of children who are in these situations, or even just relatives or people who are aware of kids that are in these situations.
Yes, at SALT, we not only can provide individual therapy for adults, but we do provide individual therapy for kiddos. I've always said the least that a person could do is to reach out for their child, to be a voice for their child. Maybe they cannot attend therapy, but they can get their child into services so that way their child can talk about things that are going on. And if a child has at least one stable adult in their life, they have a better chance of developing resiliency and developing some healthy coping skills as an adult to hopefully prevent, like what Marissa was saying, this generational effect of domestic violence. So we do provide services there, not only family and individual for adults, but for children also.
How do we get in contact with SALT Counseling?
Phone number is 501-557-6785, and our website is saltcounselingclinic.com.
And feel free to go to the y107fm.com website. If you've got a question you would like to pose for these ladies, we would love to hear from you. You can do so with anonymity, and we want to encourage that. So please feel free to go to the website at y107fm.com, click on the SALT Counseling link. That will take you to an easy form to fill out to get your question to us so these ladies can address that. And once again, the National Domestic Violence Hotline is something we want to encourage you to always have available too, should you need it.
Absolutely. It's 1-800-799-SAFE.
SALT Counseling here on My Country Y107. Thank you, ladies. Talk to you again next week.